We have a major development right now that could completely upend Trump's economic agenda in 2026. Outside of what the Supreme Court is going to do with tariffs, the second biggest decision Trump is about to make is who to pick as the next Federal Reserve chairman. The Federal Reserve is an independent, nonpartisan body, sets interest rates in America, handles a whole host of economic issues that impact your daily life, even if you don't know it. And while overnight we learned that the Trump administration, via the Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney's Office, Janine Pirro in the District of Columbia, they opened up an investigation, a criminal investigation into the current Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell. Trump does not like Powell. They've been feuding for months. Trump has wanted to fire Powell, hasn't been able to do it because the Reserve is an independent body. So they've launched this criminal investigation. Well, now a Republican senator, Tom Tillis, has come out and said, you know what? I'm blocking every single nomination to the Federal Reserve. I'm not going to vote to support any nomination that Trump puts forth. Why is that a big deal? Well, you may think, well, Republicans have enough votes. They can lose one and they can still confirm any Federal Reserve nomination. Well, the truth is that's not actually fully accurate because when you put forth a nomination, has to go to the Senate Banking Committee first. To pass the Senate Banking Committee needs a vote, 13 votes. Right now, Republicans have 13 votes. If they lose one vote, which they just lost their one vote, every single nomination will be stalled unless a Democrat joins to confirm a Trump appointee, which isn't likely in this case. So, significant news right now. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support my work, please consider subscribing to my Substack by clicking the link below. Folks online want me arrested. They're upset at me, a whole host of issues. But here's the situation right now. Let's break it down for you so that you know what's happening. Overnight, this is what Tom Tillis said. There were any remaining doubt whether advisors within the Trump administration are actively pushing to end the independence of the Federal Reserve. There should now be none. It is now the independence and credibility of the Department of Justice that are in question. I will oppose the confirmation of any nomination for the Fed, including the upcoming Fed chair vacancy, until this legal matter is fully resolved. That is huge because Trump is about to nominate a new chairman of the Federal Reserve because Jerome Powell's tenure is up in 2027. Trump had appointed Powell back during his first term, and now Powell will be out of office next year. And well, Trump wants to appoint someone new, someone who he could theoretically control, tell what to do with interest rates, right? Well, after they opened up a criminal investigation into Jerome Powell, the key voting senator, the key Republican on the bank committee just said, you know what? I'm not going to support any nomination until this legal matter is fully resolved. This legal matter is going to take a little while to be resolved. Now, I do want you to hear what Jerome Powell said in response to the criminal investigation, because this is a historic statement. Remember, Federal Reserve Chairman, nonpartisan. You don't see statements like this being made before.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
That's a pretty historic statement, right? You never see a statement like that from the chairman of the Federal Reserve. And it comes as some Republican senators, they're not taking the Tillis approach, but they're saying, well, this investigation, it's just Trump trolling. Take a listen from Senator Roger Marshall from the state of Kansas.
Is there really a reason for an investigation? Because, you know, a lot of people are looking at this and saying, well, wait a second. We know President Trump does not like Jay Powell, and we know that he's calling him stupid and that he hasn't cut rates fast enough. So is this political, or did Jay Powell break the law and mislead or lie to the Senate Banking Committee? And you say?
Well, Maria, we'll let the system play through here. I think there's other issues that we should be focused on. I think this is the president throwing out one more, maybe he's even almost trolling here as well. We got bigger issues to go after than this one, though.
I mean, I think it's pretty stunning to see a Republican senator say that opening up a criminal investigation, sending grand jury subpoenas is just trolling. But if you really want to know the real reason why this investigation was opened in the first place, it's because Jay Powell actually kind of poked at the president on live television when they were touring the new Federal Reserve headquarters. This happened last year, but it's pretty relevant today.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no,
including the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's
So,
not new.
So we're going to.
I mean, that is what happened, right? That is what we saw on live television. And so here's the deal, folks. This is a historic investigation. Really do believe it is a historic investigation. I think it is one that a lot of people need to know about. I think it is pretty significant that you have Republicans coming out saying, oh, this is just the president trolling, and at least one Republican coming out saying, I'm not going to vote for any future nominations. Tillis is the swing vote on the banking committee. So we'll see what happens next. Personally, I'd predict that this investigation is going to die pretty quickly, given Republicans already saying they don't really support it. And it's anyone's guess what will happen. Spread the word, like, comment, share, and subscribe to support my work. Remember to click the link below, subscribe to my Substack, and I'll see you soon.